1997 complete for Tony Stewart.
Man, this thing is never going to be what they said. Steve Grissom, the 9 car.
Tony Stewart won the USAC Midget Championship in 1994. In 1995, he won the Sprint, Midget, and Silver Crown Championships in the same year in the United States Auto Club. He won the Pep Boys Indy Racing League title in 1997. Here is a battle between Earnhardt and Irwin for the 5th position. And Tony Stewart gets the white flag. One more lap to go. Stewart has a lot of traffic ahead of him, but I don't think it's going to be a factor in the race. They come down the backstretch. Bobby Labonte is still about 5 or 6 car lengths behind him. Here comes Tony Stewart off the corner. And in his 25th NASCAR Winston Cup race, Tony Stewart wins at Richmond International Raceway. Becomes the first rookie in Winston Cup racing to win since Davey Allison at Dover. Back at Richmond International Raceway, the champion emerges.
He wants to throw everything.
Is he excited or what? He should be.
Here's our McDonald's winner circle. Doctor, join the celebration.
Well, you know how excited he is. He hugs his crew chief before his fiance. That's how excited he is. He hugs Crystal Dwyer now. A moment ago, Greg Zippodelli, a big kiss. Hey, Tony, congratulations. #1, your first victory in NASCAR Winston Cup. What a night.
Oh, man. I wish I knew what to say. I mean, you plan all your life for something like this, and I don't know. It's the first time I've been speechless. Everybody knows I know how to talk. You know, this is for Davey Allison. I mean, this was the mark I had to shoot for all year, and you know, Donnie Allison and his family have been great to me this year. I'm out of breath. That's a lot of stuff to talk about after winning a race, but you know, Greg Zippodelli, all the people at Home Depot and all their associates, they have been just unbelievable this year. And Joe Gibbs Racing, Bobby Labonte, Jimmy Makar, all the Interstate Battery guys. I mean, this is a team victory, and this is something Joe Gibbs has been dreaming about. So 1-2 finish. I'm just glad I'm on top tonight.
We could hear you those final 10 laps, the emotion beginning to creep into your voice as you told the spotter and everyone to talk to me, count them down. Talk to me, guys, about those last few laps.
Well, I mean, I kept getting intervals, and I knew we were running about the same times as Bobby. Just traffic was really going to hurt us at the end because the tires were getting really old, and it was hard to turn down underneath people and run the low line. But you know, that's what we worked on really hard today in the first practice, was being able to stay low. And you know, Greg and all the guys really worked hard to make sure this car drove good all day. You know, this is a long time coming. I want to dedicate this to Glenn Nibel. He's got cancer, and that guy taught me a lot, and you know, a lot of stuff he taught me really helped me tonight. So this is for him.
And I also know how much you cared for Davey Allison, and that this is the first time a rookie has won since December of '87 when Davey Allison won at Dover. So that has to mean even more to you.
Well, it is. Like I say, you know, Donnie Allison was one of the few guys that. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. Proud of you. Thank you. I mean, you know, the Allison family's been good, and you know, ever since Daytona, he's came down every week and offered advice to me, and it's really meant a lot to us this year.
Hey, go celebrate, my friend. You deserve it. You are a winner in Winston Cup.
Don't cry. I'm not going to have any problem celebrating now.
Tony Stewart, the Rushville Rocket, as they celebrate here in Victory.
And then a Pontiac third, and a fourth, and fifth, and sixth. And a Pontiac, you don't get to a Chevy until you drop way back to 9th spot. If nothing changes right there, Ford will clinch the manufacturer's title here today. And now we've got a couple of laps to go. Less than 2 miles remaining.
Jarrett made a run there on Ricky Rudd just a second ago and got caught up behind a couple of lap cars there and had to back out of the throttle, or he might have got the fifth place away from Ricky Rudd.
All the while, Jarrett, he'll come home 5th or 6th. That'll be enough to continue his way towards a championship. White flag in the air for that man. Tony Stewart, who started 11th, would become only the second driver to win 2 races in his rookie season. position. That is 10 and 11 for Earnhardt. That is for position into turns 3 and 4. For 10th place,
Gordon puts a slide job on him. Earnhardt turned down under him.
Gordon hangs on.
It is time to settle it. Here in Homestead, white flag is in the air for Tony Stewart. Trying to score his third victory of the '99 season, the flag also up for Dale Jarrett in the final lap to try and complete his championship quest last time around.
It's awful exciting, Alan. This is two races within a race. We're going to see a winner and we're going to see a champion all at the same time.
Half a lap to go, 3/4 of a mile for Stewart. The 28-year-old from Rushville, Indiana, made his fame and fortune in open-wheel cars on the dirt and paved tracks of the Midwest. He's come to the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit in fine style in 1999. Checkered flag in the air. The inaugural Pennzoil 400 at Homestead goes to Tony Stewart. Third victory of the season for Stewart and his Soviet's own team.
Pit road, I might say.
Yeah, you can go fast along on the racetrack.
White flag next time by for that man.
Eli, if there's such a thing as total dominance, that car has been there all day long.
And so is the driver. Tony Stewart has done a brilliant job today behind the wheel. And she loves it.
There's a Tony Stewart fan. One more mile around Dover. And Tony will have his 4th career NASCAR Winston Cup win. It will be the 3rd win of the season for Pontiac. And as we said, the 12th winner in 13 races. Tony Stewart wins. He led 242 laps. The battle at the stripe.
Hurricane quality rain.
Yeah, and I hope some of this is going down in the Daytona area. They've been really, really dry down there.
It is over.
Oh.
Tony Stewart wins the Cape. It's all over. And there is a very soaked and very happy winner. 2 weeks in a row. Tony, Ken Squire is with him.
2 weeks in a row. Tony Stewart has pulled it off, and what a dramatic finish from 28th today. What an incredible pit stop.
Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't win this race. The guys won the race for us. The guys did a great job in the pits all day, and you know, we had a bad one at the beginning, but they sure made up for it there at the end.
They were talking about how you've been to Bristol, Tennessee to cheer on Danny Lasowski up there in the World of Outlaws, but nobody noted that you've been there 2 straight nights and not got home till 2 o'clock in the morning. You really are a racer.
Yeah, you know, Danny and I are really good buddies, and, you know, we're working really hard to put together a first-class team for him next year, and I feel like my job as a car owner is to be there and learn as much about him as I can and stay up on the technology. So, been there rooting him on, but let me tell you something, I'm really happy for this Home Depot team, Coca-Cola, you know, everybody just has worked so hard. Pontiac, we had a really good car yesterday, and then the weather changed on us, and we've been chasing the race car all day. We had a tire that equalized. We just been all over the board today, but finally when it counted, we were there at the top.
7 in the NASCAR Winston Cup garage area. Tony Stewart is there with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, thanks, Eli. Tony, congratulations. Victory number 3. Finally, victory number 1 at New Hampshire, even though in the rain. What a great day for you.
Yeah, it really is. You know, I was sitting there under this red thinking, boy, it's unfair the weather was treating us, but you know what, the way that first red happened, we didn't come in and pit like everybody else did, and you know, we elected for track position just because we didn't know whether it was going to rain again or not. So you know, having the second red, it was really going to hurt us. So yeah, actually it ended up helping us this time, but makes up for the first time that it happened to us.
Well, this last rain delay's lasted, I guess, maybe an hour or a little more. Have you developed ulcers worrying about that rain because you had to stop?
I'll tell you what, Greg Zipadelli and I, we're going to have to start getting, you know, hair color for men, because we're both getting gray hairs, worrying about all this, and we're not going to live too many more years having ulcers like the way we are today. So I'm just glad it's over finally. I mean, we had the fastest car, so I don't feel the least bit guilty about winning this thing this way. You know, we were fast all day and you know, ran up front all day. So I mean, I felt like we did our part to earn this.
He's got 6.5 seconds on second place, Johnny Benson. And it will be the white flag next time by for Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart's got it made right now, but these guys are fighting for every inch of real estate they can get right now. And the 2 cars, watch Ricky Rudd get a great run up out of the corner, making it impossible. Lap traffic up ahead of him made out.
White flag is in the air for our race leader, Tony Stewart. While this battle is won by Ricky Rudd to hang on to third.
Steve Park dropped a little momentum there. You see Bobby Labonte now trying him on the outside.
Half a lap to go. Closing on the 4th win of the year for Tony Stewart. His 7th career victory. And the 8th Pontiac win of 2000. Tony Stewart sweeps at Dover Downs in Delaware here in the 2000 season.
Came off turn 4. But he's hanging in there tough, trying to. But meanwhile, we see the back of Earnhardt. Tap there.
With 2 laps to go, contact between Earnhardt and Jeff Burton for the 2nd position, and Tony Stewart would like to see a little bit more of that. And here comes Tony Stewart down to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Remember, he won the race last weekend at Dover. After starting in 27th position, he started on the pole here this afternoon, and it doesn't appear as if he's going to get a challenge on this last lap. He's now in turns 3 and 4, and winning his 2nd consecutive race of 2000 is Tony Stewart. His 5th win of this year. That's more than any other driver. Now we'll watch for the finishing positions as they come down.
Just get it done for the final couple laps. Look at Mark Cronquist. It is eating him up. Still pacing. He's probably wearing a hole in the concrete back there.
And right now, I will tell you that Bobby Labonte is the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup champion because the 99 car is 2 laps down. Earnhardt is 3 laps down. If he stops now, he will not catch it.
Benny Parsons projecting Florida to Bobby Labonte.
Yes.
Safely this time. White flag is out. Final lap for Tony Stewart. 1 more lap around the 1.5 mile Homestead Miami Speedway for Bobby Labonte to get a Winston Cup championship ring. Fans are all on their feet in the grandstands. Labonte now off of turn number 2, half a lap away. He may catch Mark for 3rd. He probably won't get him.
I don't think he wants to. Who's happier now? These guys or the 20 bucks?
So much heart, so much effort, dedication, skills goes into winning a NASCAR Winston Cup championship on the part of so many teams. It'll be sweet for Joe Gibbs today. Tony Stewart wins the Pennzoil 400 for a 2nd straight year. Here comes Labonte. Bobby Labonte is the NASCAR Winston Cup champion for 2000.
He was as fast as Tony Stewart, but he was definitely better than Rusty Wallace that's right in front of him.
Yeah, he might be able to get by Rusty, but I don't believe he can get by all the way to the front, unless these guys really get crazy down here.
Stewart easing it, bringing him slow off turn 4, and now he's on the gas, and we've got just 2 laps.
Gordon got a terrible restart. I believe he spun the tires when he took off.
Rusty Wallace pulls to the inside. That 2-car, Steve Park's coming. He carries him all the way up. Park's right there.
Wrecking down the front.
They stay green. Todd Bodine got spun, but we keep going. We're under green with 1 lap to go, and they come back.
Look at Rusty all over the rear bumper of that 24 car.
Gordon got such a terrible restart, and it really cost him a shot at getting up there and getting after Stewart.
Last lap.
There's a Park right there. Got a shot at getting under Rusty off of 2 over here. Can't quite make it happen. Car spinning down the back straightaway.
No matter. Checkered flag in the win. Tony Stewart, 10th career victory, 1st of the season. That was Elliott Sadler spinning down the backstretch as a lot.
Through it, Boris Said, 2 road racers in the top 15.
Boris Said has worked hard to get back into the top 15.
Again at turn 7. Gordon is so close.
He just can't get off the corner. Can't put that throttle down and stay in it.
Couple of ex-open wheelers. 3 of them, in fact, battling in the first 3 spots.
And Ricky Rudd right there on their back bumper. Rusty Wallace not too far behind.
Rudd, I think, is going to consider this a victory as Kyle Petty spins and gets back on track.
That's too bad. He was up to 25th place, and, haven't said a lot about it, but he's hung in there all day. Oh, Gordon goes wide down there. He goes real wide. All right, Stewart, I'm sorry. Gordon closed, but not enough.
He still accelerated, maybe bad off that corner.
Last lap.
Boy, Stewart went way wide
stalled at turn 11. Now he finally gets going.
This is one place.
And Terry Labonte has spun.
It doesn't matter. We're on the white flag lap. I'm sure the spotters will be telling these guys.
Terry Labonte's sitting around where those cars come off turn 11. But they come to the flag no matter what on the last lap.
You race back.
The caution is out, but they race to the checkered flag on the caution. Stewart by 6 car lengths.
It's going to be interesting. Watch Robbie Gordon going down in this turn 11. This is a time you might as well go and drive her down in there, Robbie. See what you got, buddy.
Oh, he's too far back, Larry. Let's Tony lines it up and slides out of the groove. They know about Terry Labonte's car here.
Tony Stewart.
Look at Robbie. He's got her smoking sideways back there.
Off the corner, and Stewart will get his 11th career Winston Cup victory. He wins on a road course in only his 5th road course start.
All right, what's it going to be? Is Stewart going to get held up by Jeff Burton? Can Kevin Harvick get to him? Final lap, half mile to go. The white flag is up. Stewart still working Jeff Burton. Here comes Harvick trying to close in. But it's not going to be enough. Tony Stewart gets his 3rd win of 2001. He wins the Sharpie 500 in Bristol. Last lap change of position.
Oh, that's neat. He's trying to stay down out of the way.
He's just trying to make circles right now.
Man, look down there and saw dust flying.
Last time by, 2 to go. Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., their lap time was almost identical. Junior maybe just a little bit quicker.
Tony Stewart trying to score the 6th win in the last dozen races here for Joe Gibbs Racing.
You know, he had a great car at Daytona and didn't get to show it. He blew up right on the start of the race. Dominated down in Las Vegas. And here he sits looking like he's going to win this race today. Although I got to tell you, I wouldn't. Dale Jr.'s going to dive that thing to the bottom down here with maybe 1 or 2 to go and see if he can't close that gap.
This is it. Final lap. Turn 4. Stewart the high line. Junior, the low line is coming.
Here he comes.
He cuts the gap in half. But Tony Stewart scores his first super speedway win in over a year.
Pretty dominant little performance there, Larry. Pretty much a done deal now. How do we start this day off? Blue skies. Nothing but blue skies do I see.
White flag, Mike. Tony Stewart has only started 7 races at Richmond International Speedway, and he's about to go to victory lane for the 3rd time here. He won at Atlanta, and if he rounds turns 3 and 4, he'll score his 2nd victory of 2002. Tony Stewart's Home Depot Pontiac wins the Pontiac Excitement 400.
Ryan Newman 2nd, Jeff Burton 3rd, teammate Mark Martin in 4th, Jeremy Mayfield 5th.
There he goes.
That was pretty early.
Final lap at Watkins Glen. P.J. Jones not able to get a run on Robbie Gordon. Looked like he had a brief look on him. Have not heard a penalty call on Tony Stewart, so the restart stands. And now he's half a lap away from the checkered flag.
Oh, no.
One off in the dust in turn 1. He drove out of it, though. That was Ricky Craven. What a week it's been for Tony Stewart. Spent much of this week in turmoil. After the incident after Indianapolis last Sunday, thought he might lose his job in this car. The fine from NASCAR, the fine from his sponsor. He has agreed to undergo anger management counseling, trying to overcome the temper problems that have dogged him throughout his career. Today, he's funneled that anger into a powerful drive. As he comes to the final corner, Tony Stewart is going to win at Watkins Glen, his 3rd win of the season, and his 1st win at this historic road course. Stewart's your victor.
From the green flag to victory lane.
Be ready. Ready.
Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
strung out.
At the closest battle already is Terry Labonte in the 5 car. He moves to the inside of Ward Burton in the 22. That's a battle for 8.
He's going to get him too. Jeff Green had a look at Sterling Marlin, but couldn't do it.
Heard Mark Martin in the 6 car complaining about his car pushing. One thing he could have done during that caution flag is get that right front cool just a little bit. But I'm going to tell you, Tony really stretches. Trouble!
Oh, no. I've seen this act before.
Jeff Green.
All right, the caution is out. This probably will be for the race coming to the line. Jeff Green in the 1 car.
That's a shame. He was running so well.
Yeah, he crossed the line in 7th last time, Darrell.
I think that dirt bank back there and the guardrail change has done its job. That's a lot better than what we saw here last time.
Well, Mark Martin drove it into turn 3 that time.
This is for the win. This will be the final lap at speed, and Tony Stewart leads him to the flag.
Now, there's no way we can get this race restarted. That's lap 198.
Coming around for his final 2 laps. That'll send him on to Martinsville, Virginia next week with just 5 races remaining in the season in a bid for his NASCAR Winston Cup title. Now it's nervous time for Tony Stewart's team. They've got the lead and they're about to see the white flag. White flag is up. Final lap. In a bid for his 2nd win of this season and his 1st at this racetrack.
There we go. Give some credit to Jimmy Johnson because he's pulled in to 1 second of Tony Stewart. He's a ½ second behind Ryan Newman for 2nd spot.
The track position he lost earlier, he'll not be able to make up. The defending NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion is going to make a very excellent late charge from 8 seconds back to victory lane. Remarkable late race run for Tony Stewart as he wins the UAW GM Quality 500.
This is big disappointment.
How disappointing is this for Mark Martin?
So we stay under green and we are coming to the white flag for Tony Stewart. He will come by Mark Martin's wounded car, and Tony will have a final 1.5 lap to try and secure his 1st win of 2004. Of course, the day's headlines will be an interesting one for Tony and his team, involved in the incident with Casey Kane a little earlier on a restart, and then the altercation on pit road between the 9 and 20 pit crews. But in the end, it'll be a dominating performance by Stewart, who will have led 160 of 267 laps.
That's pretty dominant. Oh, he's been by far the best car today. There's no doubt about it.
Drivers who won a race a year ago who've not won this year. There are quite a few of them. In fact, 11 drivers. Winners last year, not this. Scratch one off the list. Tony Stewart, with his 1st win of 2004, he takes the Tropicana 400 in Chicago by almost 3 seconds over Jimmy Johnson. Coming to the white flag. What a drive for Ron Fellows today from last to 2nd, but Tony Stewart overcoming the cramps, staying in the race car. We knew he had too good a race car to give it up.
Man, I'm so impressed with this run today.
And now the white flag is up and we're on the final lap here at Waukene Glen. Another 10 or so Gear 7 corners plus the inner loop for Tony Stewart to find victory lane. We're assuming he'll find victory lane.
I bet he will.
Today.
And there goes the 41 car, Benny.
Yep, he's still running. White flag. Marty may be right. We'll see.
Well, can we say Jimmy was right?
Jimmy was right. Jimmy Elliott was right. Yeah. Of course. Tony, very impressive today.
This is a team that has endured its share of ups and downs, the different things that happen to them, the controversy that seems to just build up and swirl around them from time to time. Last weekend at the Brickyard 400, Tony Stewart not able to come up with the result that he so badly wants at that racetrack. Brushed it off probably as well as he ever has. A disappointment at Indianapolis particularly. And here at Watkins Glen today, overcoming the physical cramps that have dogged him throughout the day, and he's going to ride his way to a dominating win. He'll lead half the race today and take his 2nd Watkins Glen checkered flag. Tony Stewart is the winner.
And he waited, let the race come to him. He's led it now, 3 different times. This could be it.
I sure hope he shaved this morning. I've been on him about that.
Now, one of those cars that pitted on lap 65, 45 laps to go, P.J. Jones in the 4 car, he just ran out of fuel, made it to pit road, fuel, now he's gone. But he would be in that same fuel window as Ricky Rudd in the 21, Rusty Wallace in the 2, Dale Jarrett in the 88, Elliott Sadler in the 38, Jeremy Mayfield in the 19, Ron Fellows in the 32, all in the top 8.
And that's a tough break for the Morgan McClure team. They brought PJ in to drive this car on Sunday to try to stay out of the danger zone by being out of the top 35 in car owner points. And that pit stop will be a tough one for them.
Well, Larry, this is just that point where you got what you got, buddy.
Yes, sir. White flag.
If you run out now, just don't even tell me about it.
And it's hard to believe. 109 laps down, 1 to go. 34 cars still on the lead lap. Only 1 car out of this race.
And that is Tom Hubert.
And Jeff Gordon, who had climbed his way back up into the top 20, all of a sudden had another problem, and he's back in the 32nd spot.
Jimmy Johnson, with him in 32nd, Darrell. Jimmy Johnson in 36th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 42nd. Tough day for some of the biggest stars of the sport.
What we said coming in here today can make a big difference in the points, and it obviously has.
Greg Biffle's going to lead the points for the first time in his Nextel Cup career.
I believe our battle for second is heated up. Rudd here in the 21, looking back at Kurt Busch in the 97.
Guard your inside down there at 11. We're driving deep. Guard your inside.
Well, they didn't need to tell him because that's been...
Rudd got a good run off of 10 there. I think it's going to pay off for him.
And Kurt might not be expecting Rudd to hold the bottom here. Checkered flag will be in the air. 20th career win for Tony Stewart, his 4th Nextel Cup road course victory, and Ricky Rudd holds off Kurt Busch.
5-car breakaway.
We might still be looking at a green light checker because they got a real mess going on behind them.
Just doesn't seem like Jamie McMurray can get up there close enough. Earnhardt seems to get a run, especially off the trial on the straightaway. He gets right on the back of the 42 going into 1. But just doesn't have enough help from Rusty.
I looked at the hotel window this morning at 7:30. There are already fans walking around the Daytona International Speedway. The race delayed 2.5 hours. But the fans have stayed here. Now at 1:40 in the morning, white flag for Tony Stewart. Last lap. This would be it no matter what happens.
Just not close enough to get anything done.
Jimmy Johnson is trying to get by Dale Jarrett on the outside.
Yeah, that 20 car will get awfully wide from this point on.
Half a lap for Tony Stewart. One on the road course a week ago at Sonoma. Picked up emotion and momentum, pursuing his 2nd Nextel Cup championship. Tony Stewart, a native of Indiana, has always wanted to win in Indianapolis, but tonight he's going to shut out the field, and Tony Stewart takes the checker flag at Daytona.
2 to go.
What a turnaround that Zipadelli, this entire 20 crew, Tony Stewart, they've all done, because the first part of the year, they were just not competitive.
Yep.
But boy, they have turned it around.
And I think it's also helped Bobby Labonte because Bobby's sitting in 3rd spot right now. This is a great run for those guys. They needed a good run really bad.
And may have dodged the bullet with that electrical issue as well that Alan was reporting about. White flag. Tony Stewart in the 20, the leader. Behind him, the 97 of Kurt Busch. Then Bobby Labonte, Kyle Busch, and Greg Biffle. And Biffle is right on the bumper of the 5. That's the race for 4th. That's your race leader. Half a lap to go. Remember, those two had contact just a few laps ago. They're going to battle it out for 4th. But Tony Stewart's going to bring that Home Depot Chevrolet off of turn 4. And Tony Stewart, a winner at Daytona, now wins at New Hampshire.
Stewart has been the Nextel Cup bad boy for so many years until this year. Says he just doesn't take things as seriously as he used to. Doesn't let things bother him as much. Is trying to enjoy his successes. When he has a problem, he just tries to leave him behind. He told me in the garage yesterday, instead of being mad about something for 3 days, he just puts it behind him and goes on. Then has 3 more days just enjoying life. He sweeps out of turn 4 and sees the white flag at the same track where his hero A.J. Foyt won before him. Now Tony Stewart is 2.5 miles away from history.
Looking in his mirror about 2 seconds right now.
Turn 2 at the Brickyard. Down the backstretch.
This is going to be really, really big for him.
Half a lap to go. The fans cheering. Through turn 4, the last trip down the front stretch. Tony Stewart, a native Hoosier, his dream comes true. Tony Stewart wins the Allstate 400 at the Brickyard. Let the party begin.
They're not even close enough to try to outbreak him.
Said looking to the inside of Robbie will not get there. Give a call to Jimmy Johnson in that 48. He's had a solid day. Good performance.
Man, oh man, Tony Stewart just drove away on the restart, and these guys right behind, knowing he was going to do it. So I got to give Tony Stewart credit as much as blame as anything.
Yeah, I mean, both those last restarts have been, he got him. He fooled him.
That's right. He just drove away from him.
Through the inner loop. Then the carousel. If the caution comes out, the race is over. Stewart's okay with that battery?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Fresh battery should last for a couple of laps.
Especially with everything off.
Out of turn 7 to the pit stretch. White flag, last lap at the Glen. Dave Burns.
Robbie Gordon radioed his crew, no way we're going to make it. We're done. I don't know if he meant he's out of fuel, if there's no way he can catch the 20. And no, he's not catching the 20.
That's probably what he's talking about. They're just not going to catch the 20 because the car certainly seems to be under power.
Well, this 20 team is in top championship form right now. Off the win at Indianapolis a week ago. Headed for victory lane here at Watkins Glen. To Michigan next week and then Bristol.
I mean, in 2 laps, he has pulled out to a 2.5 lead on really good drivers and race cars.
Won at Sonoma earlier this year. Tony Stewart, the new road course king in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. Sweeps off of 7, makes the right-hander. He can see the checkered flag now. Tony Stewart goes back-to-back and wins at the Glen.
Talk about dominating.
Off turn 4. What Kyle Busch is going to have to watch is from the state drive down there on the outside of turn 2. Watch that state drive.
While this is going on, though, Tony Stewart in the 20, he's drove off into the sunset. White flag this time.
Can you say adios, amigo?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, he's going to make this a 3-way battle for 3rd.
Kyle Busch slips up. Here comes Johnson.
Yeah, the state drive's real bad down there, right in the middle of 1 and 2 and off. Kyle got on the outside a little bit too much.
And here comes Junior to the inside.
Big Orange, Tony Stewart gets the win.
And Kyle Busch got loose. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will beat him back to the line for 4.
Side. Stewart has help.
2 to go.
How would you like to be at least to turn it off? Isn't
into the infield right down there, but you're running 190 mile an hour, and you can't.
Said slips to third. The glass slipper almost fit.
Listen, he has got his hands full. There's no question about that. That car, we know, it's all over the place.
But here comes Kyle Busch's brother, Kurt Busch, up there to push his brother, the 5-car, Kyle.
Watch Boris's car. He just wants to wheel his walk up the racetrack with him. He's just chasing it. He doesn't need anybody up behind him.
The blood is thicker than water, but most brothers in racing would rather beat their own brother than anybody else. How about the Busch brothers?
Well, we're going to find out here, boys. It's 1 to go, and the Busch boys are in hot pursuit.
And here comes Matt Kenseth in that 17 car on the high side. He's getting help from his teammate, McMurray, in the 26.
Kenseth has never won here, but he's taking the long way around on the outside.
Just remember, it gets really tense. Coming down the back right here, you start blocking.
In turn 3. Caution is out.
Caution is out. Will we go to overtime or will the checkered flag wave?
That's it. We were in a white flag lap.
We took the white flag.
The field is frozen at the moment of caution. The yellow flag waves as they come toward the finish line. Tony Stewart and the Home Depot Chevrolet will score the second win of 2006.
Already being shut off by the official there, and now he's got it going. Oh, boy, what a mess.
Been a lot of points there. Stewart is just backing off, isn't he, Matt? I think he's running half throttle right now.
Greg Zipadelli told him, you got to slow down at least another 3/10 a lap for me. Just work with me on this. He's letting cars go by to try to pick up a draft off of them.
Go ahead and bring her down pit road here.
Jimmy Johnson too fast exiting pit road.
Oh, gee. And Stewart's got a 17-second lead on Casey Mears, who runs second right now.
And Mark Martin runs third. From a car he said was terrible early in the race, now third. Can he get to the finish? We work the final lap. Stewart down the backstretch.
He looks like he's out of fuel.
Should be quite a few more up front now.
Stewart's out.
Can he coast around in time? Had that 17-second lead. Casey Mears is the second-place car. Stewart slow through turn 4, trying to reach the finish line.
It looks like Casey Mears is out of fuel now.
Casey Mears slow in turn 3. Tony Stewart's going to take the checkered flag and coast across the finish line and win.
That's unbelievable.
2 to go.
Big picture racing right here for the team, anyway.
Stewart the leader, Johnson second. Again, Kenseth down low, Earnhardt in the high groove. Junior making those older tires work. Had 10 green flag laps on them. Stewart takes the white flag, last lap at Atlanta. Can Johnson get there? Can Kenseth get third from Earnhardt? And a car in the wall.
No 7 car.
Boyer trying to keep it high on the track. They've already taken the white flag. If the caution was to come out, the race would be over. Kenseth trying to make a move on the 8 of Earnhardt. This is for third.
Oh, Junior's getting loose. Instead of the 17, Kenseth's got loose. Got on the apron a little bit.
Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag.
Earnhardt. Just. That was close.
Green flags in the air. 2 laps to decide it at Texas. Johnson hangs with Stewart on the start, looks at the high side, then ducks in behind him. Flash bulbs everywhere. Stewart low, Johnson high. Harvick in third. And Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer, Earnhardt Jr. sixth. Tony Stewart has been strong all day, has led 277 of the 338 laps. White flag last lap.
Pretty even that lap. I think he's going to be able to get him.
Doesn't look that way.
Down the backstretch for the final time. Tony Stewart won last week at Atlanta with a dominating run, strong pit stops, a good crew. Outside the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship, cannot defend his title, but he can be strong down the stretch. Tony Stewart wins at Texas. Second half of the season driver. Don't know why or how that works, but that's been the story of his career. Less than 2 to go.
It doesn't look like Carl can run a totally different line than the 17. Either that or 17 changing his line around. Carl's pretty much running the same line as the 17, which is going to make it difficult for him to get around him.
Those are teammates from Roush Fenway Racing, Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards.
And Matt's probably the best there is at blocking you without telling you that, without you knowing that he's blocking you.
Last lap.
99's right on him right now. Oh, goes down to the bottom, and he almost forced Matt to run a little bit higher, but
then you see
not on the grip.
Yeah. He goes back to the gas and it pushes up the racetrack. Now these guys are just trying not to take each other out.
Yeah.
At that point in time. Did you hear him say not much teamwork here, just bring it on home?
So Kenseth in second, Edwards in third. But Tony Stewart, 20 races since his last trip to victory lane at Texas in November. Tony Stewart wins at Chicago.
Great run for the 20 Home Depot team and Tony Stewart.
The problem is 2 laps to go. These guys are starting to run out of time. And Tony Stewart's just getting ready to smell some victory. But I'll tell you what, Montoya, that last lap by, fastest car in the field, Juan Pablo Montoya. And this guy is surprised everybody to come here, never run at this racetrack in his life, and be running second right now to a veteran like Tony Stewart at the Brickyard 400, the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Tony Stewart can smell this second Brickyard 400. He's real close to getting that white flag.
Yeah, if he gets that drink bottle out and takes another drink, now that's going to be really adding something to this. He doesn't have to show off quite that much.
I tell you what, that makes him a pretty good driver. If you can... One more.
All right, Tony Stewart comes by. He had not won a race in 20 starts dating back to last fall. And then 2 weeks ago, he took this car to Chicagoland Speedway and spanked them. Led over 100 laps and said, guys, that has now become my favorite race car. I want to take this car to my home track. So they brought it to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a track, as you heard, that he came to when he was 5 years old, riding in a luggage rack on top of a bus, covered up in coats, so he could watch these guys race. It's a track that he has dreamed of winning time and time again. He won here in 2005. And once again, with the help of that guy right there, Zippy, Greg Zipadelli, Tony Stewart will come down here in 2007 and take the win in the All-State 400. Tony Stewart wins it. Has spun around with 2 laps to go, the leader.
Keep going, keep going. Come on. Come on. Keep digging. Keep digging hard. Right there, come on.
Unbelievable. Turn 1 again. All day long, guys, we've had problem in turn 1. And the leader, feeling the pressure from Tony Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart did it earlier in the race and was able to make up for it later. Now here, Paul Edwards all over Tony Stewart.
All over Tony Stewart at the inner loop. They're coming down for the white flag this time. Stewart trying to get his 4th win here. Carl Edwards trying to win for the first time at Watkins Glen.
You got to believe when Stewart saw Jeff Gordon spin, he slowed and got the 99 of Carl Edwards right on his bumper. And now Tony's trying to shake him loose, get away from him. Let's take a look at this replay.
Jeff Gordon's been able to outbrake Tony Stewart into this corner every lap. He just tried just a little too hard right here.
Guys, it appears another classic case of wheel hopping getting at the corner. You see the rear end jump around, wheel hop again. Felt that pressure from Stewart. You just know he did.
White flag for Tony Stewart. Trying to pick up his 3rd win in 2007, and his 4th win here at Watkins Glen. Can he hold off the charging 99 of Carl Edwards, who, by the way, is driving with an injured thumb, a previously dislocated thumb, and a bandage, trying to shift gears and hang on to that steering wheel?
Jerry, he just cleared the most critical part on the racetrack, turn 1. That has ate everybody's lunch today. He's just got to get through this inner loop clean. Let's watch him get through here. Nice smooth turns, not aggressive. You see Carl Edwards' left front tire in the air. He's driving hard. And Andy in turn 9 coming to 10. He's about got this thing home.
Carl's not giving up, though. He's just trying as hard as he can to get right to the bumper of the 20 car, Tony Stewart.
Carl's got 2 more shots, the entry at 10 and the entry at turn 11 to catch him.
And Carl goes off the racetrack.
Edwards off in the gravel. Here comes Tony Stewart out of turn 11. And congratulations to Team Chevy driver Tony Stewart, winner of the Nextel Cup at Watkins Glen.
Denny Hamlin, his teammate, comes in second. As you said, yeah, he can. And there's a couple of guys out there that actually have some fuel issues. They're hearing the 5 car to make a pit stop because they couldn't pick up the fuel they had in the tank. What little bit they had.
Getting ready to find out who's going to do what. The other one hanging back a little bit, trying to get a run on Tony. Tony's not going to, he's smart enough, he's not going to let those guys get too far behind him there. But you can see that the 8 car held back quite a bit. Elliott Sadler's going to try to pass him. Yeah, there they go. Yeah, that wasn't a good move on Eric Almirola's part there. He's going to lose that spot, maybe more.
So now you've only got 2 DEI cars there in that line, where you had 3.
Yeah. And that can make a huge difference when it comes down to trying to draft past Tony Stewart.
David Reagan now trying to, right on the back side of Elliott Sadler. Remember, he was able to push Sadler by a moment ago.
You know, in this scenario, I talked about waiting until the very last lap and coming through the trial. Well, the bad thing with this is there's only 1 attempt. If these guys wreck now, then you blow that chance. So in this scenario, you might not can wait that long.
Coming out of turn 4, it'll be white flag this time by for Tony Stewart. Regan Smith, the rookie behind him. Menard is there. Sadler is there. Here comes Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, he's not getting any help, though. He made a great move there, but nobody wanted to go with him.
I can't believe that these guys, the DEI cars, are going to be satisfied with 2nd and 3rd. They're going to have to go for it here.
Now watch the 31 and the 07. Teammates for Childress, Burton, and Boyer.
Still content to run single file.
They're all wanting to go, but everybody's just filling that spot, so they're not getting that opportunity.
David Reagan hasn't won. Regan Smith, the rookie. Paul Menard is there. Tony Stewart has never won at Talladega in a NASCAR Sprint Cup car.
He's going to do a lot of blocking right here. They've got to run on him. Got to run.
Here they come.
I can't go down there and do that, though.
Actually, I think it's legal on the last lap. He might have got it right there. I think it's legal on the last lap. We're looking next door to see.
Below the yellow line. It was below.
We still haven't got an indication, but it looks like Regan Smith won this race.
Why would it be legal on the last lap? It's not the 187.
I heard Tony Stewart, some of those guys commenting on you can't go below the yellow line to make that pass. There's Tony inside the car. We are waiting to get definitive information from NASCAR.
He definitely passed below the yellow line pretty much the whole way.
John Darby, Mike Keller are having a discussion.
We'll see. Good effort.
Here's the replay again. Watch a 0-1.
And he got forced down there. I mean, Tony Stewart actually forced him down a little bit.
Well, yeah, if you're going to consider that he only...
Yeah.
They are saying Tony Stewart has won the race. Tony Stewart is the official winner here at Talladega. They would not allow that pass below the yellow line.
That's the only way that can be. You can't race well way for 187 laps and change on the last lap. You have to be able to protect the same deal. Great win for Tony Stewart and his team.
Right now, more than you're looking out the windshield. You're just watching that needle, hoping that it's not going to die.
But you're looking at it, not wanting to look at it. You don't even want to glance over in that direction, man.
Less than 2 to go. Edwards is 4.4 seconds behind, running about the same speeds as Stewart.
All clear.
That's 2nd and 3rd. This goes on 4.5 seconds behind Tony.
Boy, and they're coming.
Real slow.
Is he out now? Or is he going to fall in behind the 90? I think he's going to fall in behind.
Try and get a tow. He'll be coming to the white flag this time.
He's running fast enough to get a tow. Well, at some point when they get in your mirror, you got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say fuel forever. When they're 3 or 4 car lengths, you're just going to have to drop the hammer
front stretch. White flag, last lap. This will be the last lap of the race.
Now you want to run this lap so hard you can't see straight, but you still got to save it. You still got to save a little bit.
He's still got a pretty good cushion. I think once he gets to 2.
Johnson to second.
Johnson to second here.
2.5 seconds behind.
Can't take the racer out of Carl, though.
These guys are not saving fuel right now.
No, they're not saving fuel. Carl drove right back up under him. That's
You and him, it's 6 back to anything else.
That's for second. If Stewart runs
Still
out,
there.
that would be for the win.
Clear, clear.
Tony in turn 2.
Boy, they're barreling down on him now.
It's a long way from turn 3 to the start-finish line, though. Look at him looking.
Tony Stewart out of the final turn. Made the big move in the offseason.
Here he comes.
To go over to Haas Racing, take over part of the ownership, and Tony Stewart's going to take that team to victory lane.
48's out of gas. See him on the inside there. Listen to the crowd, man.
He ran out of turn 2.
Savor this one, I have a feeling, just a little bit. Tony Stewart wins at Pocono. With his dad here and his Bobby Hutchins, one of the team managers, Stewart Haas, Eddie Jarvis, his longtime business manager. When you put this deal together last July, did you ever believe you'd be in victory lane less than a year later?
No, let alone twice. I mean, I got to think Old Spice and Office Depot and U.S. Army and Coca-Cola and Chevrolet, who was the first one to say we want to be a part of this, and Rick Hendrick and everybody at Hendrick Motorsports with the engine and chassis department, and my teammate Ryan Newman. I mean, this has been an awesome weekend.
For you, Tony, so many men and women helped make this happen. Is it more special as an owner-driver than just a driver?
It is, because of the group of guys that I'm working with. I mean, I've always had a great group of people to work with at Gibbs, and you know, it's just a little different when it's your own. You know, when you're the one at the end of the day, it's got to be accountable for. But I couldn't do it without all these fans. You know, this year's been hard on the weather side, so it was a little nerve-wracking there when we got the last caution there with the rain.
Yeah. Your one quote on that last run was, "I hate racing like this." I know it was grueling. What were you having to do inside the car to save that much fuel?
I'm not telling.
That's a good way to do that.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy your Coca-Cola bath.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, Tony Stewart in victory lane here at Pocono, Bill.
Do it now, Kyle, because there may be a wreck.
There may be,
and it may take you 2 or 3 laps to work on that leader. These guys need to be doing it now.
That wreck was almost Montoya. He was completely sideways coming off the corner. He saved it again. Busy night for Juan Pablo Montoya as he still runs up inside the top 10 after all he's been through tonight in that 42.
I'm
2 to go.
The guys running 6 and 7 have torn up race cars. You know what I mean? I mean, they've been in accidents, but they have driven the wheels off of them, Kurt Busch and Juan Montoya, to keep these cars in contention.
The only ones not with any damage are the ones at the very front of this pack. But we're not done as we're coming around, getting ready for the white flag.
31 is Burt.
Here they come, here they come. To the outside, here comes Kyle Busch. He's got him, and Tony cuts off Hamlin.
Now what's Tony going to do?
You're clear.
And now the question is, Tony's got no help because these guys are running too wide behind him.
Right.
So now it's man on man right now.
I don't think it's gonna get wider here in a minute, I believe.
Here comes Johnson in behind Stewart. Is it enough? Hamlin's high side up there by himself in the 11. First lap led all night by Kyle Busch, and it's the money lap, and it might be all it takes.
It really
now, what does Johnson do to help Stewart?
Doesn't matter. Kyle Busch is going to hog all the racetrack, or he should. He's mirror driving right now.
Tony Stewart trying to get to the bottom.
He may get turned for mirror driving, but he's going to be mirror driving.
Stewart's trying to squeeze in there.
See
He's shoving to the bottom.
He just wanted to touch him, man. Just wanted to touch him.
Can't get him to the high side. Here he comes. No,
there he
goes.
He turns him.
Busch in the wall. Here comes Stewart to the checkered flag. And another car gets in the backside. It's Casey Kane. And they're scattering everywhere as they come to the line.
Some of these guys hit hard, man.
And one of them was Kyle Busch.
They're still hitting hard.
If he were to finish second, it would be a career best finish, but he's not thinking about career best right now. He's thinking about winning a race. He wants that W.
2 laps to go here.
Whoop. Wow. I think Ambrose struggling just a little bit getting into turn 1. Yeah, it looked like he was just kind of chasing it pretty hard there, trying to gain some more spots. And he's just pushing, trying to make up some spots or some ground here on Stewart. if he could ever get, he feels like if he could get closer to Stewart, he could maybe either force in a mistake or just have a chance to surprise him like we saw on Saturday with Kyle Busch. Just can't get there, though. Tony Stewart just so solid.
We talked about how Tony Stewart's car didn't look that steamy in the final practices, or most practices all day on Saturday, but he didn't need to look good on Saturday.
That's right. It wasn't time to show your cards. He's got them all on the table now, though. Pretty good hand so far.
In the 26-year history of NASCAR racing at Watkins Glen, there has never been a last lap pass here for the victory. And if it's going to happen, it needs to happen right now. White flag for Tony Stewart, and there's the interval back between Stewart and Ambrose.
Well, it's all about the fuel now. There's not going to be a pass unless something happens as far as the fuel goes. Okay. It's gut check time right now. You got to think even both of them are thinking about saving, just try to feather foot it up through here, because the only thing that's going to lose it for him is running out of fuel. Yeah, but if you're the 47, you don't want to lose contact with him in case that happens coming out of the last corner. Yeah. You want to be able to have that opportunity.
The top 6 cars are very, very close on fuel. Got to be wondering if they can make it another half a lap. Tony Stewart trying to make it and win the race. Marcus Ambrose trying to make it and finish second, or maybe hope Tony Stewart doesn't.
Looks like they're going to make it. And this is going to be the critical corner here.
The one car, Martin Truex, we are told, slowing over in the back of the course. He may be out of fuel.
Great run by Tony Stewart today, though. Showed why he's so good.
Coming out of turn 11, it will be official. Tony Stewart wins at Watkins Glen. Marcus Ambrose, best career finish in second spot, and Carl Edwards will come home from the back of the pack in third. Kyle Busch fourth. Greg Biffle, the first ever top 5 here. Position. Now Mark Martin has an 18-point advantage over Jimmy Johnson, but it'll be white flag this time by for Tony Stewart. Tony began the chase in disappointing fashion, although he led 52 laps at New Hampshire. They had an issue. He ended up finishing out of the top 10. Stewart finally gets the top 10 last week at Dover, Delaware, but has not had a top 5 since his win at Watkins Glen. Now Tony is 1 lap away from getting his 4th win of the year. That's the margin, 0.6 of a second. Tony Stewart trying to hold off Jeff Gordon. 2 turns away for Tony Stewart, the 38-year-old 2-time champion, coming out of turn 4, and Tony Stewart will win it at Kansas Speedway. Side-by-side battle here, Kane and Martin, and it'll be Kane.
Tell you what, next time by it'll be the white flag lap, and it's a good thing. Somebody's going to hit the wall if we keep going. There is your race leader for Tony Stewart. Looks like the streak is going to continue, as his lead right now is 1.3 seconds over Carl Edwards. Another guy that's got a big night. Carl Edwards coming home in second if he stays right there, and Jimmy Johnson looks like the Jimmy Johnson of old, guys.
Yeah, and he's been running some of the fastest, if they've been the fastest car the last 5 or 6 laps, so they have really got their program going in the right direction at the right time.
For Tony Stewart, his last win was Kansas back in October of 2009. It's been 31 starts since he has tasted the champagne in victory lane. But here he comes.
Ring the bell, baby. Woo! Nice job, baby. Good job, guys.
His 38th win with Carl Edwards second. Jimmy Johnson comes home in third. And in fourth, it will be Jeff Burton with Kyle Busch fifth.
Put on today.
Green. David Rigg has been released from the care center, and we are back to green flag racing. And look at Kansas smoking in the back. Boyer, a little nudge to Stewart. Got him a good push. He's got the lead coming out of turn number 2. and again, we're 5 wide, coming out of 2. Can this survive?
So far they have. I don't know how. Man, I'm telling you.
That's Regan Smith. Remember, Regan's only taken out 2 tires 2 cautions ago, and he's getting swallowed up.
Gordon's got those 2 tires there, trying to go through the middle and gain some spots.
There's Jeff. He's around Regan. Logano coming up behind as well.
There's your white flag.
White flag is out. Tony Stewart looking to pick up another win and make a statement that he's going to be a contender. And Clint Boyer underneath the 48. Coming out of turn number 2. Can Boyer clear him? Boyer's got second. Now Jimmy goes to the high side. Boyer comes down, opens the door. Johnson's got to run.
Jimmy's going to have the momentum right here.
Coming out of turn number 4. For the first time in his career, Tony Stewart is going to win here at Auto Club Speedway. The battle's going to be for second. Stewart takes the turn. Boyer, Johnson. White flag. He's coming to the white flag this time, leading with fuel mileage in play. 1.4 seconds back to Kevin Harvick. A lap and a half to go.
That team never recovered from running out of fuel leading that race either. Really affected the rest of their chase. Does he have enough today?
Is somebody going to run out and lose a chunk of points? Will the lead change hands in the final lap, or can Stewart begin his championship with a breakthrough win? There are cars on the apron running out of fuel as Stewart takes the white flag. It was Kyle Busch, Andy referenced a second ago, on the apron out of fuel. To go.
Now Gordon's out of fuel.
All clear. Keep coming.
You'll see Gordon there. Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, all slowing out of gas. Tony Stewart, the fuel holds up. Tony Stewart opens the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup with his first win of the season. There are 2 laps to go.
Now does Tony have enough fuel?
It was this race a year ago. Stewart led coming off turn 4 to the white flag. And he ran out of gas. Is it going to be different this time?
He's got a big lead. He can sit on that. He doesn't have to run very hard.
White flag is up this time. 1 lap to go.
Looks like Brad Keselowski took a second away from Greg Biffle.
Final lap in New Hampshire. Watching Tony Stewart to see if he's got enough fuel to make it. The advantage he has, he's up 7 seconds on Keselowski now as other people begin to fade.
Take a deep breath. I got this.
Sounds like he's got plenty of fuel.
So if he was stalking him, he knew just what he was doing. 2 wins in a row to start the chase.
Way to go.
Tony Stewart wins at New Hampshire. To go. Do they get to the white flag without another yellow? Can Johnson get the Stewart's back bumper? Here they come.
Joey Logano into the wall.
Car to the wall, turn 3.
White flag's out, though.
Logano still driving around. We are on the last lap. Stewart, Johnson, Gordon. Will there be a bump and run? He's going to try it. Johnson gets there, but not enough. Tony Stewart wins at Martinsville.
4 of the first 8 races in the chase, right? I didn't see that. Okay, I'm just checking. I didn't think that a lot of people saw that, but boy, how dominating has this been? It's going to be twice he's been back-to-back victories in the chase if he can hold on here for a couple of laps.
And Kurt Busch on pit road with a late stop. The white flag flying for Tony Stewart as he comes off of turn number 4, 1 lap away from victory.
White flag here. White flag. Bring it home.
Stewart started this championship with a win at Chicagoland, backed it up the next week with a win at New Hampshire, then had the terrible race at Dover where he finished 25th. Not all that impressive at Kansas, 15th, but then 8th at Charlotte, 7th at Talladega, the winner at Martinsville last week, and a dominator today. He'll gain ground
Not a ton, as Carl Edwards is going to finish second. But with his 4th win in 8 tries in his bid for the championship, Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag at Texas. Tony Stewart seeking his 3rd championship. Rallying back tonight from as far as 40th position. Kind of had the what me Maury attitude earlier in the race.
Yeah, what an incredible job by the crew to repair that, Andy. That's not an easy place to make a change and fix a repair. Yeah, they've overcome a lot tonight on pit road. They had a mistake, or actually a problem with a pit pocket. They had a hole in the grill. But Tony Stewart has
flag here, white flag. Bring it home.
Final lap. Stewart and Edwards, 1st and 2nd. Winner takes the championship.
This is just the most incredible run I've ever seen out of a race car, what Tony Stewart has done in this case and tonight. Yeah, I think it's the best driving I've ever seen, and Carl Edwards did an incredible job too, but this is the man right here, Tony Stewart.
2002, he was the champion. 2005, he was the champion, those driving for someone else. This time, he's an older driver, and he's going to become a 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. Tony Stewart wins it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2011 NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, Tony Stewart. Wow, what a performance tonight. And what better way, Tony, for the closest chase in NASCAR Sprint Cup history to finish. Tony, 2 of NASCAR's heavyweights. Tony Gibson coming over. 2 of NASCAR's heavyweights going toe-to-toe, head-to-head, the final laps, and you won it in the championship. What's the emotion right now?
Oh, God, thank the Lord for this one, buddy. Man, I'm telling you, it's been a tough summer and a tough fall for us, and you got to believe in something. And the man upstairs, and he held this rain off just long enough to get this job done. So this is for Sprint and all these fans up here that stuck it out all weekend here in Homestead. And, oh, my God. I don't care how long it rains, I'm going to be up all night. This is, oh, my God, are you kidding me? For Office Depot, for Mobile One, Chevrolet, U.S. Army, Tornadoes, Quicken Loans, GoDaddy, Ritz, Oreos, Coca-Cola, just everybody that's a part of the Stewart Haas program. Mac Tools, we couldn't do it without you guys. It's just unbelievable. I mean, we said all week we just go out and win the race. We didn't have to worry about what he did, and that's what we did. And just if this doesn't go down as one of the greatest championship battles in history, I don't know what will.
Let's talk about tonight. In the first 100 laps, Tony, you had to go from back to front twice. 3 and 4 wide passes on the restarts as Jeff Gordon comes up to congratulate him. And then the gamble on fuel. How concerned were you that maybe there were just too many obstacles to overcome after all you were having to battle tonight?
This team, there's one thing I learned when Gene Haas and Joe Custer gave us this opportunity, and our good buddy Rick Hendrick, and I couldn't do it without you, Bud, and everybody at Hendrick Engines and Chassis, that there's no quit here. And Darren Grubb, that man up there, and everybody on this team has just dug deep and never given up. And this is an awesome night. Eddie Jarvis, Prep Food, everybody at Stewart Haas Racing. I've got the best team in the business, and it's just awesome. I'm so grateful to be able to do this for Gene Haas, because this man's invested a lot in this sport, and for him to have the faith in me to do this, just it takes a lot to do what he's done, and glad I can get this done for him.
Talk about people that meant a lot to the sport. That number 14 belonged to your hero and friend A.J. Foyt. He said you can take the number but drive it with the tenacity of a Texan. Tonight, you won a championship the way he won it. Up on that wheel, refusing to lose. What does it mean to you to take this number, his number, back to a championship stage?
I guarantee I'll probably talk to him tonight and he's still going to tell me what I did wrong today, but I'm so proud. I mean, AJ's always been one of my heroes, and he's been very supportive of this when we did this. And you know, when I asked him if it would be all right if I took his number, he was the one that gave me his blessing, and that meant the world to me.
Carl Edwards, a class individual. What a battle! What a battle those final. What's going through your mind when you're seeing Carl back there, knowing that he's just going to do everything he can, and what a great effort he's had all year long to try to catch you, and you had to win the race to win the championship.
You know, those guys have done an awesome job all year, and my buddy Ricky Stenhouse won the nationwide championship yesterday, and Jack got the owner's championship. So I didn't feel bad taking this one away from him tonight. But you know, he's a great competitor, he's a great guy, and we've been giving him a rough time this week. But it was all in an effort to do what we did tonight here, and that's to win this championship. But you know, it shows how classy a guy he is. He was the first one to me over there, and he just said, "Promise me one thing, that you'll enjoy this." And he goes, "I hope it's you and I in this position again next year." So it just shows how much class he's got. He's a great guy.
Both of you showing so much class. And Tony, guess what? In just a moment, we're going to climb up on that stage. You're going to get a big trophy and even a bigger check as NASCAR's newest Sprint Cup champion. Alan?
2 to go.
That 14 car, though, he comes out of the bottom. He comes up out of that hole pretty stout.
Jimmy Johnson trying everything he can. He went all the way to the top of the racetrack that time to try to get the run down the back straightaway.
And you can see Jimmy closes down the straightaway with the momentum of coming off the corner, but he loses too much time. Now he's going to go to the bottom. That's a great move.
But he drove it down into turn 3 that time, Darrell. It just wouldn't quite stick like he needed it to.
Tony's car is just a little bit better. It's just good enough. You're not going to pass him.
White flag. Jimmy Johnson won here on a last lap pass in 2006. But he trails Stewart by 3 car lengths out of 2.
Yeah, that 14 is just too strong up off the bottom of the corner. Jimmy tried everything he could, but 14 is just stout.
Turn 4, final time. Johnson arcs high, brings it down low. The defending Sprint Cup champion Tony Stewart makes it a smoke show in Vegas and wins the Cobalt Tools 400.
For winner, his second victory this year. Dick Berggren is standing by. It's damp, but it's a legitimate victorious celebration, Dick.
Indeed it is. Tony has been hugging his team. You are doing so incredibly well. Are you driving better than you ever have before?
I don't know. I'm definitely not. I mean, I turned 40 last year, and I'm definitely not losing anything with age here. So, you know, but I've got awesome race cars, and it starts with all of our guys at Stewart Haas Racing and the Hendrick chassis department, and especially here at California, the Hendrick engine department really shows up here. So thank you guys back there in North Carolina, and you know, Office Depot, Mobile One, U.S. Army, Quicken Loans, Outback Steakhouse, Chevrolet, just everybody, and Steve Addington and these guys, and these guys back at our shop. I've been with them most of the winter, and they've been busting their butts, and it's we got really good race cars.
All green flag pit stops today, not a single mistake by anybody on pit road. How hard do your guys train?
They train real hard. I mean, Joe Patet just he does a great job as our pit stop coach, and we got a really good staff of guys that work these guys out in the gym at the shop, and you know, they do a lot of pit stop practice. So everybody does. I mean, everybody down through here, all these pit crews work really, really hard. But you know, I'm proud of our guys. They're a fun group of guys, and you know, you know, they're one unit when they're all working out at the shop, and then when we get to the racetrack, we're on the U.S. Army Chevy, or you know, the Office Depot Mobile One Chevy.
Congratulations, Tony Stewart. 2 wins in the first 5 races this year. Chris?
Races. Pace car is off. We're going green, and we're going to settle it at the World Center of Racing. Casey Kane giving a nice push to Tony Stewart in that outside lane.
This is Hendrick against Roush right here.
Yes, it is.
Ford and Chevy.
Got the RCR guys behind him. That's Burton and Harvick hooked up right behind the Roush guys on the inside lane.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they drop to the outside and make it 3 wide.
Yeah, and 2 to go. Nobody's looking at a single gauge in these cars.
No.
nice run down the back straightaway on the inside for those Roush guys.
And that yellow helped a lot.
Yes.
With just 3 laps to go, they got the temperatures down.
So here's your tandem racing for everybody at home right now. This is what it was last year.
Coming down through the tri-oval. Once we get the white flag, the next flag will end it, whether it's the caution or the checker. Side by side with a lap to go at Daytona.
And these guys are going to run. They're going to be leaning on each other going down the backstretch.
Oh, my God.
We got somebody sideways. Wow, Burton did an unbelievable job saving that race car.
Amazing save by Jeff Burton.
Now we got the 14 out there all by himself, but he got a big push to get away from those guys.
Tony Stewart pulling down in front of Matt Kenseth. And Kane with a little charge in the outside lane.
That's the break that Tony needed right there.
This is going to be...
they're stacking up. They're stacking up.
Through turns 3 and 4
here we go.
for the final time. Big crash behind the race leader, Tony Stewart. That's going to allow smoke to pull away. What's going to happen behind him? Can Burton get there? No, he can't. Tony Stewart wins it at Daytona.
They're going at it here at the Magic Mile.
Don't forget Jeff Gordon cuts his teeth in open wheel race cars, and he is right up to the back bumper of Montoya.
Yeah, Montoya really got loose off too that time.
Yeah, he got a great run, and he's going to pull to the bottom. They'll be coming to the white flag this time.
1 lap to go in a thriller at Dover, Delaware.
Montoya did. He drove that thing up all 4, even though it was sideways. And don't look now, that 18 car slipping in the picture, trying to get around Jeff Gordon if he's not careful.
Tony Stewart will come up on Timmy Hill in the back straightaway, looking for his 48th career win. Hill stays high, and the driver who started the weekend saying this is our worst track is going to victory lane in Dover. Tony Stewart wins the FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speed.
Smoke today. There. That turns where it's going to happen.
I think he pulled away from him right there, guys.
I think that's why I asked you, Jeff, because I think I see out of Hamlin what I saw out of you a couple years ago, just overdriving, trying to get there and can't make it.
Yeah, he just did it right there as well. DW right through turn 1, coming up to turn 2. You saw the 11th slide the front end. Look at this. Tony pulled out a little bit of a gap there.
And right here is follow leader. I mean, it's just hard to really make a pass here until you get over to turn 7, maybe. Still a little dicey.
I mean, this is classic Tony Stewart right here. This is what has made him a 3-time champion, all the race wins he's had. Put your... Oh, no, wheel hops.
He got in there and he just got it sideways. All right,
Tony, I won't brag on you anymore. I'm not going to say a word, man.
That's a mistake that Denny Hamlin was waiting for, but I don't know if he can capitalize on it or not.
Wow. I mean, that was a great recovery.
I think those tires are going away on that 14 car, though. That's where he fought earlier today, and he's right there on the verge now.
And turn 7 is so tricky. It's so easy to get in there and lose their grip on the rear tires.
What do you think? Hamlin setting him up for a last lap pass?
I don't know. He's going to have to get closer than this.
Turn 11, last lap is where it could happen. Off 11, coming to the king.
This time, white flag.
And the white flag waves. 1 to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Well, this is the closest Hamlin's been in a few laps.
I tell you, I think Hamlin's he's going to pounce. If he's got anything, Tony better not do what he did in the 7 this time or he's in trouble.
Try to dive you down here.
They're working him.
Not close enough.
Nope. Tony's right where he needs to be, man.
See if he can make a gain. It's all about getting off of this corner. He gets in there good. Oh, he missed it a little bit.
We're about to. Be ready for the dive.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's wheel hopping. He's going to hit him.
Hamlin is there.
He hit him.
Oh, got him. Oh, no.
It's not over.
Get him back.
Denny got in there and wheel hopped. I don't think he meant for that to happen, but then he made contact with Tony. I think Tony was also pretty loose getting in there.
Well, that was what happened to Tony lap before, you know, when he got loose into 7 and that allowed Hamlin to close up.
Hey, this thing's not over, guys. Watch what happens into turn 11 in this heavy braking zone.
2 more corners. Hamlin trying to pull away.
Close enough.
I think Tony used up his stuff. I mean, we knew he was having, you know, issues
Here we go.
with the car.
Stewart inside. He is there. He gets Hamlin. They hit. And Stewart comes off turn 11. And he's coming to the flag.
How did that
Tony
happen?
Stewart wins.
How did that happen? Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
How does that feel, buddy? Still a champion, buddy. Yeah, I'll take that.
That's fun. We started our season in Daytona with an unbelievable side-by-side finish. Denny Hamlin stealing the lead from Matt Kenseth and beating Martin Truex by fractions of a second. And we
better every week. I'm really proud of everybody on this deal.
We
Just
finished
keep going, guys.
with a spectacular finish.
Wow.
He just made the chase.
Two
right there.
drivers who both refused to lose on the last lap.
That was absolutely incredible, that last lap.
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Look at listen to the crowd. They're going nuts. I think he's going to have a different tone when he gets out of the car in Victory Lane today. Wow.
I'm telling you, you think he was cantankerous this week? Wait till next week. Oh, wow.
Was with him for the celebration.
Mike, when you look at this, the drivers through the years, so many times, Chris, that we see legendary drivers go out without celebrations like this. Nobody can describe the journey Tony Stewart has been on over the past 3 years. Smoke, does the impact of this win even more meaningful, the timing of it?
Oh, man. They're all good. It doesn't matter where you get them, but we could run close to those guys all day. We just got stuck back in traffic, so it's pretty ironic. The last one we got was in a Code 3 car, and I'm proud to do it again, but proud of Mobile One and Bass Pro and everybody. They just an awesome job.
You look at your legendary career, your 8th road course win, your final year. What does it mean to chalk up another one on your racing resume?
Especially at a place you're going to for your last time, that means a bunch. So it's special, trust me.
I remember your dad when you won the Brickyard for the first time in turn 2 in the suite. He kept waving you on. That's what he was doing every time you'd go by here. Walk us through that exciting last lap and then Hamlin's comments through the window after.
I made mistakes the last 2 laps. I had a little bit too much rear brake for turn 7 and wheel hopped it 2 laps in a row. But, you know, I felt the nudge when I got down there, and he knew where it was. I mean, he did the right thing doing it there, but if I could get to him, he knew it was coming, and he just told me he was proud of me. I mean, he knows what it means, and, you know, we were teammates for a long time. We respect each other a lot.
His 49th career win, and Chris, when you look at the popularity of Martin Truex Jr.'s win at Charlotte, I think this trumps this from the reaction from the fans and the folks in the sport.
At age 45, the sweat pouring out of a worn out but not finished yet Tony Stewart. And on the pre-race show, Darrell Waltrip called him cantankerous, and he fired right back. Congratulations to the Coca-Cola Racing family member Tony Stewart for his historic win. And on the pre-race show, we asked